What's up, guys? This is Kyle from Wax Museum. And as you can see by the screen here, it is Prizm time, right? It's that time of the year, which honestly, I don't even know what time of the year it's supposed to come out now. It seems like that's changed quite a bit. But anyway, the set's been out for a couple of days now. I've had a chance to watch some breaks. I've had a chance to look at the checklist. So I'm hoping this is a little different Prizm video than you might see out there on some other channels because I simply want to do just that. I want to look at the base set and the checklist and just show you some quick things that I've noticed here. It won't be too much. So first off, just so you know, as you can see on the side of the box here, this is a 300 card base set. I thought at one point they might try to up that to 400 to try to up the print run as well, but it doesn't look like that's happening here. So I will let you, if you want to pause this and take a look at the parallels, you do have that option. But otherwise, I'm going to be talking primarily about the base set, which you can see here. And to no surprise, it mirrors what we saw with the Prizm football base set. So you see Curry there on the left, you see Tom Brady on the right. That's pretty common for Prizm to have the same design across multiple sports. So anyway, if you like that football design, well, then you have it for basketball as well. Personally, I think there's just way too much on the outside of these cards because we've got great game photos. We don't get game photos on a lot of cards, or at least not ones that, most of them are cropped, I should say. So anyway, it would be nice if they reduce that border a little bit. But anyway, there you have it. Another thing people often like to see is, what does the LeBron James card look like? So what I did here real quick, I just kind of gave you a summary of every LeBron James, the main Prizm base set. I know some years had the All-Star card in there as well, but here's the main LeBron James card from every year. And now you can see we've got the first card of him in a purple Lakers uniform, also the first card of him wearing that number 6. So there's what your LeBron James card looks like this year if you wanted to see that. Now, with that big border that I talked about, you might kind of be concerned about the centering. And I felt like the last year, the centering was really bad on Prizm. And as you can see here, they even mentioned on this Zion gold listing that it is centered. I will say the centering looks pretty good from an overall standpoint that I've seen on the breaks that I've watched. There wasn't anything egregious to me. Now, does that mean that, we're not going to have outliers? Well, you see this Jaden Hardy here, obviously. That is not centered, but for the most part, it looks like the centering is good, even with that big, thick border. So hopefully that's a good thing. Hopefully that means we get less off-centered cards this year. But anyway, like I said, I looked at the checklist. Not a lot of huge observations here, so it is a 300 card set. I've noticed it seems around 8 to 10 players per team, which, that makes sense if you do the math there. There are 50 rookies and there are 30 veterans. Now, the one thing about the veterans this year that I want to note, when I say veterans, that means retired. I should change that to retired, but they're all pretty much Hall of Famers or Hall of Fame caliber. The ones that maybe were kind of fringe, you're looking at like Vince Carter and Amari Stoudemire, but otherwise it was all top tier players. You're not going to get any of your Kevin Duckworths or any of your Swin Naders or guys like that who, I like it when they're in these sets, but sometimes it seems strange to have them in there. So anyway, you're not going to get that stuff. It's going to be packed with star power, which, maybe will make some of those golds, worth more. Might be better for the people that are breaking it. The only player that kind of made me scratch my head a little bit on the checklist was Carmelo Anthony as a Laker. Maybe that was a bit speculative when they put that together, but otherwise everything seemed to be fairly accurate. I mean, now you do have obviously the players that were just traded, those have not been updated, but every trade that happened in the offseason was reflected. Every signing was reflected. For the most part, they had game photos unless they started the year hurt. I think like Joe Ingles was a media day photo. I think Daniel Tice, you'll see that one later, was a media day photo as well. I did see one error on the checklist, but not on the cards themselves. So I think that's worth noting. I don't know if that's going to mess anything up for breaks or mess that up for anyone, but probably not. I figure people will get that fixed. But anyway, if you look in the rookie section, they listed Nikola Jokic as card number 236, but that's actually the Heat rookie with a very similar name. So just keep that in mind. if you are doing anything related to the checklist. That's the only thing that stood out to me. That's not a big deal. And in fact, Panini, it looks like they didn't even mess that up with the base set. So I'm not concerned about that. The one thing I thought they might mess up, they didn't. So they did get both Jalen Williams right for the Thunder. So I have to applaud them for that. I know, this is the bar now where we're saying, hey, great job on getting the right photos on the right cards. Now, I haven't seen any photos that were messed up. There might be some out there. I haven't noticed them yet. If they are there, hopefully not. Hopefully they did a better job with that this time. Okay, now let's look at that guy in the middle there, though, because we do want to see what our rookies look like. Now, this is an example of a rookie that has not played in a game yet. So this is our chat rookie. You see it's that normal photo shoot. This is kind of what we would normally expect with Prizm. So no complaints there. However, all of the rookies that have played in games, their rookies are game photos. So I'm very excited about that. Now, I know there are people out there that will say, well, yeah, it should be. We're getting it after the season comes out. And yeah, I think they have a valid point, but I am going to try and celebrate the successes when they're there. It is very nice to have in-game photos for these rookies for Prizm, because these cards will go down as some of their better cards, or their more desirable cards, I should say, in the future if they do pan out. I mean, we've seen that with Prizm time and time again. So anyway, there's your Paolo card. There's your Benedict Mathurin card. And I noticed that Benedict Mathurin card was from an October game, as most of these game photos were. It was early preseason stuff. It was an October game against the Hornets. In fact, a lot of the Pacers cards were. I noticed, what do we have here? 6 different cards were pictures from that game, which, nothing wrong with that. I'm glad they have updated pictures on here. The only 4 that I noticed that were not, or these here, and one of them is Daniel Tice. He's a media day photo. So anyway, there you see that. So that was my quick early thoughts on the 2022-23 Prizm base set. I'm not going to try to do a video that analyzes the value, right? Because I passed on this at like $200, so I certainly passed at $400. I'm certainly going to pass at $600 and $700, which is what I've seen some of this stuff at right now. Obviously, you're going to get crushed if you're looking at it from a value standpoint. But if you're just looking at the base set, you're buying singles on the secondary market, you want nice in-game photography, hopefully this helped you out a little bit. And now I'm going to throw it to you. I'm curious to see, what do you think about just this base set or this product in general? Let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video. Remember, there are new episodes of the audio podcast that come out every Thursday. And as always, thanks for watching.